Hi, I'm Maggie,
Hi, I'm Kristen,
and we are doing internet cookies.
and how they affect targeted advertising.
According to Marshall Brown, a internet cookie is a type of message that is given to a web browser by a web server.
And cookies are basically used to restore the information that you've looked up or provided on the computer, and they could identify the users that have been on that computer.
When you are using a website that uses internet cookies, they might ask you for personal information such as your name, your email address, or your interests for later use.
And after that information is provided, it's collected and it gets formed into a cookie. And that cookie is sent to your browser and it gets saved there so you could use it later. So each time you visit that page or website or just on that browser again, the cookie will be retrieved so it remembers the information that you've provided.
There are different types of cookies. The two main types of cookies are persistent cookies and session cookies. A session cookie is a cookie that is erased when you close your web browser. It is only stored in your temporary memory and it does not collect information from your computer. It also doesn't identify you as a user.
A persistent cookie is pretty much the opposite of a session cookie. It's more of like a long-term cookie, you could say. It gets saved onto your hard drive. It does have an expiration date, but it's saved there until the expiration date comes or if you decide to delete it. And it does collect information about the user to remember.
The information that is stored in a cookie is called a name-value pair.
And now we're going to show you an example of how a cookie and its name-value pair is used and saved onto your computer. So to do this, first you type in the URL in your browser. We're going to use Applia. And usually you have to make sure that it's a website that you visited before.
As you wait, the computer is now searching for a cookie file. As you can see, my email address and password were saved, which indicates that there is a name-value pair in there in a form of a cookie that the browser sent for and it was retrieved, meaning that this website has been used before and has saved my information as a cookie.
Another type of cookie is called a third-party cookie, and third-party cookies are usually looked at as privacy invaders. A third-party cookie is when a website gives information that you've entered into that website to another web browser that you've never visited before. And Steve Bass describes websites like DoubleClick and Avenue A as examples of third-party cookies because they track all your online moves and they give all your information to websites that are associated with them but that you've never heard or seen before.
Steve Bass wrote his article, A Fight for Your Online Privacy, in which described online cookies and internet cookies as being pretty much privacy invaders. He stated that these cookies store your every move and these websites follow what you do and they have all your information, which leads to them invading your privacy because they can follow all your moves. For example, they can remember the DVDs you ordered or even the purchased items that you got off the internet. One major problem with internet cookies is that there's a privacy issue. The privacy issue is that many computers are accessed by many different people, for example, in like public libraries or at workplaces. So if your information gets saved with a cookie, like for example, when you purchase stuff online and your address gets saved and your credit information card can get saved, other people can access that very easily if they're using the same computer you use.
Another downside to cookies is security issues. There's a lot of security holes found in different browsers, and it allows malicious webmasters. It even allows, other users and government even to access all your information with or without your permission.
One other major problem is that internet cookies can get erased. For example, if you're having problems with your browser, you can call it technical support, and the first thing they would tell you is to erase your temporary internet history or your internet history, and that way your cookies are going to get erased, which causes you to lose all your cookies. So when your website, you log onto a website again you have previously used, the cookie is not there anymore and it identifies you as a new user. So when internet websites are trying to keep track of their users, that can be skewed information because internet cookies could have been erased and the same user could be accounted for twice.
Secrecy is another big issue with cookies. As we said, third-party cookies are from websites that you've never personally viewed or been interested in. And what a lot of browsers do is they purposely make it difficult for you to block these third-party cookies. It is possible, but they purposely make it hard to find so you can't block the cookies, because no cookies equals no data for them, and that means less money for them.
Cookies can also be a good thing. They have lots of good things that come with it. For example, websites can track users, as we stated previously. They can know how many users visit their website daily, how many arrive, how many returning users they have, and that is important for some websites to know information so they are aware how their websites are doing.
And cookies could also be a really good thing for convenience for the user themselves, because it remembers all recent websites and info you've entered in to different forms, like your address and your email on different shopping websites.
So, for example, it makes it much more effective and easier to use. When you're shopping on a website, you can have quick checkout options, which have your address already programmed in there, and they have your information about your credit card, so it makes it much more quicker and it makes it more efficient. So when you shop, it is more convenient for you as a user of the internet. Also, you can go on websites such as weather.com, and they already have your zip code saved in, so you can make it much more quicker to access weather and information that you would like to see because of the internet cookies.
One thing a lot of people appreciate about cookies is personalization. Cookies save up a lot of personal content that you've entered in your computer over the use of it, and it gears it towards your specific preferences. So on websites like Amazon, it'll basically just advertise and offer you products that shows your interest in them. Google, it'll better understand your search. So if you're researching one specific topic, it'll find better results for you, so you can find better information on that topic. And then Facebook, everyone uses Facebook. Cookies are pretty much used all over Facebook for everything. If you hit like or become a fan or any of that stuff on Facebook for juice or shoes or anything, they can come up with an ad for it like that and just show an advertisement for it on your screen at any time. So basically, cookies could just make your web browsing a lot more pleasant and efficient.
So now that you guys know everything about cookies, we're going to talk about how companies and advertisers use cookies to their advantage. Companies try to reach as many people as they can for the least amount of money. So they are going to use whatever resources that they can in order to achieve that goal, and one of the things that they use is internet cookies.
So a big thing with targeted advertising is strategically reaching certain audiences, so they don't just play all the same ads to the same people. They look at ratings of websites. So if a website shows data that mostly women are on that website, they'll show women's ads on that website, like a women's shampoo commercial or a shoe store, something like that, if it shows that the majority of users on that website are female. And they also generate it by any different category. They use age, gender, profession, interest, social class, ethnicity. They use absolutely anything, and they separate it, so whichever is on that website or browser or page or group, they'll separate it into what fits that category.
As we mentioned previously, Facebook is a website that does this. So once they see your likes and they see what you like, they will try to, through your internet cookies, they saw what appealed to you. They will try to give you advertisements to see what you might like. And the same things companies do. They see the cookies that you browse through, and your browser history reveals to them, and through that they can find out to show you advertisement what might appeal to you.
So yeah, targeted advertising is becoming much more popular, much more pervasive, much more used with today's technology and with today's economy. It's much more important to different companies to try to reach out to as many people as they can.